Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the High Slide Thursday Night Truck Series, brought to you by GridVision. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Sheldon Atkins, and in the truck by Austin Darbyshire. Sheldon, are you looking forward to tonight's race?
Buddy, this is the best track on the circuit. Homestead, you got the variable banking. So many different you can run. This place is a blast. Always puts on a good show, puts on a good race. I'm absolutely excited to be up here tonight.
Absolutely. This is going to be an interesting race. I love a good variable banking track. Miami is going to be when you got those two different sets of challenges at either end of the field. You don't have to repeat the same act twice, and some of these courses that we've got here on the circuit have just got this little extra bit of extra bit of spice. And seeing that tonight in Miami is going to be a lot of fun. I think you can still go pretty fast, but there's a little bit of strategy you're going to have to bring into play.
Yeah, it looks absolutely symmetrical out on a map, but this play, these two corners, they're like close sisters. They're not twins, man. 1 and 2, it is tight and sketchy to get through there, or it feels like the back end just wants to snap out from under you.
Oof, yeah. So let's go into tonight's picks. First things first, I like Andrew Chapman. He's been a guy that I've had on the field for a bit here, and I've been watching him the last couple of weeks. I just like his chances for tonight. How about you?
Chapman's a good pick. I got to go with the Sheldon Creed of the series. I got to go with Probst, man. I feel like he's gonna get past that second place hump that he's been on most of the year and finally punch his way in.
Well, let's certainly hope so. And then over in the truck, Derbyshire's also got Chapman. The two of us both looking at the same idea here. And I think that they call it an inspired choice as we look over the conditions here at Miami. 80 degrees, the track is 81, I believe, and mostly cloudy. A nice evening race. It's about 8:19 local time. And what was it?
With the picks tonight, man, we got two Chapmans and a Probst. We try to get Cause to make the GridVision stickers on the truck bigger, but he decided not to do that, so we're just not picking them for the rest of the year.
No, off the list. That's not how you get picked by the GridVision commentators. But then again, with our record, maybe you don't want to get picked by the GridVision commentators. Sometimes it doesn't go well for you. But speaking of going well, let's get ready to go. Here comes the grid, starting with Levi McCarty at your pole position, Andrew Chapman in second, Jacob Denson in third, Jason Miz in fourth, Derek Grigsby in fifth, Charlie Harcum in sixth, Jordan Probst in seventh, Aaron Kay in eighth, Andrew Lemke in ninth, and Mac McPherson in 10th.
And then run.
And then Joseph Kazi, rounding out the field at number 11.
We didn't even want to mention him. That's how frustrated we are.
I wasn't quite sure which one of us was going to mention him, to be honest. But I jumped right in there. He's there at the back of the field. But let's see how things shape up now that we've got people rolling out. He might be at the back right now, but we know how this guy drives. And so I think it'll only be a matter of time before we see this field start to get shaken up a little bit. Jordan Probst, he's one of those guys that might not start off necessarily too far front, although he's gotten a pole position recently, hasn't he? I might be off on that. I was thinking Probst.
Oh, Probst. I don't know, man, but he's been popping that runner-up spot the majority of the season. I'd like to see him work his way in this go around, get the job done.
Sounds good. We got 121 laps tonight. Sounds like there's going to be a planned caution at one point here, as we've got eyes on the pace car rolling out, pace truck scrubbing some tires down there on the inside. That's Levi McCarty in the 21 with Chapman on the outside. There goes the pace car. Lights are off in the Geico start zone, and there's the green flag. We are go here on GridVision tonight. Not a huge dominating launch from either one of the two drivers right now. McCarty on the inside with Chapman on the outside. They're forming a nice column, but it looks like they are pulling away together a little bit with Jacob Denson pulling up third.
Chapman tried to get down to the door. McCarty there through 1 and 2. Got a little tight though. Washed up the track just a smidge. Now with a pitch, we got a yellow.
Already, yeah. The yellows are being called out tonight, so it looks like
Jason Miz with a big slide.
Well, if you're going to get it out early. Make sure that you get back in position. Yeah, big slide there, just through it.
Front of Causey.
Ooh. And he
Huge
caught up
contact.
Causey.
If we could get a look at the front clip of that 88. You see Miz just got it down in there, cold tires, up the lane or so, round she goes. Easiest thing to do here.
That's it. I guess Causey being back there, I don't know if he didn't qualify. So maybe he was just thinking I'll start from the back, maybe avoid an early wreck, but the early wreck found him.
I think he was thinking with a small grid there wouldn't be much of a likelihood, but that's what happens when you think.
That's the way it goes. Here's another angle on it. Oh, no. Everybody's getting back lined up again. A little bit of pacing going on. Yeah, I got to get these early jitters out in a race this long. And Homestead, it's not necessarily one of the longer speedways, is it?
That's a mile and a half based
Okay.
heavily off of the original configuration of Atlanta.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's again, it's got more of that a cousin, not quite a sister complex with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an older surface, sitting in the Florida heat too. You know, it bakes a lot during the summer, and it has a lot of wear. This is a really fun place to run on. Just so many options. But
Absolutely.
yep, absolutely. Our producer does bake a lot during the summer. Thanks for letting us know.
Well, we've got, I think we're coming around close to the one to go here. Is this pace car goes into 3 and 4?
Oh, Darby, what kind of cookies do you bake in the summer? Oh, he's a brownie guy.
Okay.
That absolutely tracks.
You keep it simple. Now, are we going crispy brownies or gooey brownies?
I think oregano.
Gooey brownies. Oregano. Funny brownies.
Oh, you don't?
Okay.
You're the first Canadian I've talked
brownies.
to that doesn't do edibles.
Well, I like. Yeah, I'm with. I'm in the fudgy brownie crowd. Also, that's the direction I like it to go.
Yeah, it's got to be basically like brownie soup inside of the brownie for me. Otherwise, I don't want it. Oh, the cosmic brownies. Those things
Delicious.
are so good.
Delicious. When my son gets those, I will steal them from his lunch.
It's great. You can buy those and leave them in the pantry for 2 years, and they're still good, man. There's no way. There's no way that's actually a baked good. There's no way.
Whatever mad science goes into producing those, we just gotta thank the free markets for making it happen. This horrible alchemy that delivers these brownie-like dessert treats.
Like that, you got the processed meats too.
Oh, delicious!
You know, meat obelisk.
The obelisk of meat, spam. Yeah. Don't ask, kids.
No way. Looks like we're getting back to it.
Pace car's about to go off, and the light's about to go on. There it goes. Green flag, green flag. Bit of a faster jump this time from Levi McCarty. He goes ahead and takes off. Andrew Chapman is falling in behind. McCarty moves up the track a little bit to get an advantageous position on that apex, going into 1 and 2.
Right now, side by side for third, though. Probst on the outside of Denson, trying to use that outside line momentum to get by him. They're going to be about dead even, though. Probst pretty slidey coming out of turn 2, but still getting just a little bit of the advantage as they come down the back straight lane to 3.
He can hold on to that in that middle line right there that Probst is riding. That's going to be a place that is going to benefit him in the long run, I think. Less tire scrubbing, but in the beginning here, we could see some people making moves on him, as we see right now down on the inside of Probst. That's Jacob Denson in the 79. He looks like he's making a play right now.
Yeah, so right now, with Denson trapped on the bottom of Probst, not being able to use the entirety of the racetrack, it's really going to saw off those right front tires. If Probst isn't there and Denson's able to run the bottom from the wall all the way down to the apron just about, then back up to the wall, Denson's absolutely going to save more tire. But with Probst up there, going to make it a lot more tricky. But you see Probst get some momentum and shoots on through to third.
Yeah, we see that here. And he's getting the momentum by doing exactly what I said he wasn't doing, which was diving down a little lower, but that's some defense. He's just playing a little bit of defense and saying, nah, I'm not going to let you just quite as easily pass me for third here. I'm going to go back down. I would be surprised if he didn't just let him have the position at some point, though. That's going to be a fight that's not going to go in Probst's favor in the long run, this sort of battle of attrition. Now, here comes the pass on the outside. Looking for a pass on the outside. I don't think Denson's got the speed, though. He's not going to be able to turn that into a pass for third.
Not quite yet, but side by side for the lead. Andrew Chapman to the inside of Levi McCarty coming down to turn number 1.
That's our pick. Andrew Chapman, go ahead and sliding into first here. He looks for stage 1 to be his, setting himself up. Oh, not quite. Here comes the 21.
Yeah, 21 right up there against the wall, up on the cushion, using that little bit of air between the right rear quarter panel and the wall to kind of help that car rotate, carry momentum.
Just Chapman, by a nose, too.
Yeah, right now where Chapman's hurting himself is he's being a little under-aggressive running that inside line. He's given way too much room to the 21 machine, and that's why the 21's able to build such a run over Chapman, because he's bottling that thing up, bogging that Ilmore engine down on the straightaway.
Well, it looks like Chapman's backed off a little bit on the aggression. He is not willing to fight it out right now. He was in that position where they were nose to nose, but right now he's keeping that upper line, and I think he's hearing our advice in real time as he's driving. It sounds like there might be a challenge on his hands, as very close now on his tail. That's Jordan Probst looking on the inside. As Chapman stays way up high on the wall, Probst does the exact opposite, tries to get into position, but Chapman's got a great exit out of 2, doesn't let him have it.
Chapman using that outside line momentum through 1 and 2 to get that thing back hooked up, back to the bottom, now to the inside of McCarty in turns 3 and 4.
This is some fun racing early on here as we watch these guys all jockey for the top 3 positions. Now side by side for the win, almost side by side for first at least. It's Levi McCarty and Chapman. Chapman down to the inside. This time it's McCarty up to the outside. As Chapman maintains his speed, gets a little bit loose potentially. No, not quite. He's just a little bit. It was a little bit more aggressive on the wheel. It looks like down on the inside.
Yeah, Chapman way too shallow of an exit through 1 and 2. Not gonna be able to materialize anything down the back straightaway. On the inside now though in 3 and 4. If he can run it up there and just get right up to the door, try to pull a little bit of side draft on that 21, he could possibly make moves, but he's just being very under-aggressive right now, which is kind of a weird thing to see out of that 25 machine.
Yeah, he's being real gentle. When he was down on the inside and he had to unload, the smooth movement to the outside of the track, it's something where I feel like he's trying to maximize his speed on the exits has been something that he's had a little bit of trouble with, but I'm trying to read his strategy too at the same time. Been a little bit difficult for me, but we'll see what happens as he tucks it in behind the 21 of McCarty. Down on the inside comes Probst, still just trying to keep in the head of the 25. He says, I'm here, don't forget about me, guys. I'm going to be challenging you for these positions, so you're going to have to put a little bit of defense on, just a little bit of D, if you want to make this ride work for you over these first couple of laps here.
Yeah, the more these guys in front of them start battling it out, racing each other as hard as they can to try and get by each other, the better that 91 is going to look. He's sitting in the catbird seat right now. Fresher tires because everybody else in front of him has been charging hard. Good opportunity to pick these guys up, but I feel like you just need to sit back and whittle them down just a couple more laps. Let them do their thing and fall back naturally. Don't get out there and overcook that thing.
It's a good way to think of it. Right now, it's our top 3 line things up a little bit. Let's talk about how some other people are doing during the race. Joseph Causey, fresh off of giving the T-bone to who's that? Jason Miz. He's running middle of the pack now. He's up 4 positions from last up to 7th.
And back up to P7. Doesn't look like he tore that thing up too bad. Radiator looks good. It looks like it's.
I was surprised.
Revving how it needs to be, but at the same time, kind of off pace compared to what we're used to seeing out of Causey.
Yeah, given that impact, I thought that maybe he would be suffering from something, and so maybe what he's suffering from is just enough to keep him his technique there, but not the speed from his car. So that's unfortunate to see as an early wreck. Not a wreck, but an early impact, I guess we should say. It didn't wreck the car. Early impact causes a little bit of a change to the expected performance out of the 88.
One that's really hurting right now, though. Last week's winner, Jason Miz, back there still pretty far off pace. about 5 seconds off of the lead pack here with a Miracle, the 55 machine, and Lemke down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Lemke. Ooh.
Nope, Lemke's gone. No more Miracle, and he's back.
Big blink right there out of Lemke. It looks like lost him for a second. Glad to have you back. And McPherson pulling in from the back of the pack. He's still a ways off, though, from the Lemke Miz situation. I do think that Lemke is going to get the speed and try to make a pass on Miz here pretty soon. Up there at the front, we just had a pass. Now Derek Grigsby passes Charlie Harcum for P5. We can see these guys are still side by side, and ahead of them, they're side by side. That's Jacob Denson and Jordan Probst. Probst now almost getting tapped by the nose of Denson, who's had enough of watching these three guys do get out of the front. He says, I want a little slice myself. Cut me off a piece of that cake.
Denson doing a really good job right now, holding it steady, gaining spots later in the run. Looking pretty strong tonight so far, but it's still early.
Just took P3. He's on the podium.
Oh, Probst for the bumper at 3 and 4.
91. Ooh, a little bit of a... That was a in the middle of the turn bump. Just enough, though. He was really desperate to keep that line. Another bump. The 91 just getting it hard from 82.
Harcum, I believe, teammates with Denson. I think they're both BHR guys. No contact, door contact out of 2.
Yeah, a little bit of a wiggle there. The 91 holding it, but Harcum just getting up into him a little bit. Looks like it didn't really bother Probst too much, though, as Harcum takes it down to the inside. Probst is just going to maintain his line, trying to maintain that momentum, bring it down out of 4, looking to cross the line at speed. He does ahead of Harcum, but just by a split second there, as the battle for 4th is heating up.
82 machine did not like what he was seeing out of the 91. Figured he'd give him a little bit of a shot back for it. As you see the 82 move up the spot here, move Charlie Harcum up to P4. A lot of time lost, though, with that interaction between him and Probst. Probst is basically just throwing out the anchor at this point.
Yep, as best he can. Harcum up there at the top, though. Behind Probst, there's Joseph Causey. He has really been close on the tail of Probst since moving up that extra position now. Causey down on the inside was trying to sneak in.
Oh, he got the apron.
Beat from Probst.
Causey catches the apron a little bit. It's really going to affect him coming out of turn 2 all the way down the back straightaway. A lot of momentum lost there. Going to get some of it back, though. Grigsby in the 5 machine going to push him down into turn number 3.
Pay that momentum debt when you make a mistake like that, unfortunately, and that will cost you if someone's sitting right behind you. And right behind Joseph Causey is Derek Grigsby, who's waiting for Joseph Causey in that potentially slightly slower vehicle, or at least already dented vehicle at some point, to make his move.
Oh.
And that's the yellow out.
I believe, is that stage? Will anybody wreck?
20 laps in. I will double check right now. Gotcha. Okay, stage 20 yellow. That would be it then for stage 1.
That's a good point pickup for the 21 of McCarty.
Yep, sitting pretty. And then at 60 will be our next stage, and there'll be no yellow for 60. So as our boys go around and get a little bit of a break, we're going to take a break ourselves here on GridVision. Stay tuned, folks.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer.
Welcome back, folks. The green flag has waved, and the stage 1 caution is over. I almost stumbled over my words there. Quick launch out of Levi McCarty as we watch everybody come back. We've got a grid of 4 looking to fight it out for second, third, and fourth place there. It's starting to sort itself out a little bit. Chapman now on the inside. He's fighting Harcum on the outside, who's making a big play. Makes his pass. Harcum goes for fourth. Causey right now is weaseling his way up to third. Up into second, as I say that. Taking Jacob Denson's spot on the inside.
Causey, with a wreck at the start, no qualifying lap, has worked his way back up here to the second position, side-by-side battling right now into turn 1 with Jacob Denson to his outside.
Denson.
Way too early pick, but I think we might be looking at the potential winner of this thing here.
That would be, with the way he's driving that car, it's been a miracle. And it's been exciting to see a guy go from not qualify, the only one who didn't choose maybe, but the only one who didn't qualify, to now solid second place.
Good at it too.
Very good at it. One of the best we've got here on the league tonight.
Hands down. Right now you got Harkin behind Denson, following his footprints for the time being. Everybody kind of single file. Everybody got really racy that last run. I think they all realized that they were kind of killing their tires off pretty quick. Gonna take it nice and light here and work your way through it.
After you get some of that intel, you do see a bit of the situation change. A little bit further back now, we've got a little bit of passing action going on. Grigsby was high on the outside, and it looks like Lemke on the inside in the Full Sail racing car. Taking it down to the inside now. He's looking to try to get a little speed out of it and get ahead of Jason Miz. Can't quite pull it off there. Back at the pack racing. Aaron K behind him.
Yeah, Miz doing a good job running up there against the fence, building that momentum. Gonna get by Lemke here, I do believe, out of turn number 4.
You can see he's gotten his Miami legs back after an early spin and an early yellow out of Jason Miz. So it's good to see him now driving a nice clean line and having some folks challenging him, but he's also going to be one that's going to be potentially challenging. So eyes there. Let's take it back to the front for a second and see how things are going up at the front of the race. Things are strung out. We're in that sort of string of pearls Sunday drive configuration. As you mentioned, most of the passing is happening right now mid-pack a little bit as our leaders look like they're trying to sort themselves out. The only one who might not be falling into line right now, that's Charlie Harcum. Fourth place, it looks like he was looking at the outside for a second, maybe trying to get some speed. He is doing it now again here with Jacob Denson in front of him. But right now the front is starting to sort themselves out pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, Causey just right now being consistent, running that bottom line, trying to keep those tires from burning off too quick before he goes to try and make a move on McCarty. McCarty doing a little bit of the same. Might be pushing just a little too much, but I mean, they're maintaining a gap, so you tend to think that whatever Causey's got going on is the same thing McCarty's got going on.
Yeah, I would really hope so. You think that what Levi McCarty right now is driving could be considered the ideal line, or is he going too low?
I think Causey's got it figured out right now. You see how he's very gradual. We're going to get a good onboard view here, too. What you're on rating to look for, see how much wheel he's putting into it.
Yeah,
look
barely
at that.
a touch. 5 degrees.
Next anything, for those of y'all at home, what that translates to is he's not putting any heat into that right front tire at all. Next to none. Yeah, now, if we can see what McCarty's doing, we get a good show of what's going on here. Very
clean. Yep, and then there's that left to right washing motion of McCarty a little bit. That might be where the tires are going to start to come back and bite him in a couple of laps here. don't want to be crossing across lanes as you're going through these turns.
It's a good view. And what you're
There we
seeing
go.
is, what you're seeing right now is you're seeing the 88 machine get right down there to that apron, right up to that paint. And when you do that, there's a little more grip on the actual paint itself, which kind of allows you to let the car do a little bit less work. Allow your tires to do a little bit less work. The track kind of helps you turn itself. And there's a handful of tracks that you can do this at, and there's a handful of them that you can't. Works really well here at Homestead. As you see him line up a pass, attempt to pass coming out of turn 2 on the inside of McCarty, but not able to get it done right now.
Yeah, that's mind games at the moment. It feels like he's really just trying to show McCarty that he's here. He's got the speed whenever he wants it. And right now he's got it locked in, but not quite just following. He's not really just going straight for the draft. You'll see he does move out a little bit every once in a while just to check, just to show McCarty in his rearview mirror, hey, you mess up, I'm going to take that spot.
Yeah, McCarty washing it right up against the wall again, coming out of turn number 2. Looking good, though. I mean, these guys are both running really good lines. I just think at this point, it comes down to the stuff that we can't really see. What are the feet doing,
Mm-hmm.
What's your throttle position, brake position? And that's the extra, 5 to 10% of the whole tire saving philosophy.
That's right. And we've got everybody here running this, the same, I think it's the same setup. Is that correct?
Yep.
This is a fixed setup?
Fixed series.
There we go. So it's really just it's a matter of racecraft. And that extra 5 and 10%, that's what's translating into seeing this line of cars here, the gaps between them. The more you know Miami and the more you know this truck, the more you're going to be able to squeeze out of it. Get every drop of oil out of that olive.
I tell you what, I can't think of anybody in the field right now that does a better job at that than Joseph Causey.
I probably couldn't either.
As much as I was flaming him at the start of this thing, man, absolute talent. Puts on a clinic most weeks and putting the pressure to that 21 machine right now.
It really is. That talent is on display here as he's got a very clean line. The 21 cannot seem to shake and probably won't be able to shake. Let's go back the line a little bit and see if there's any other battles shaping up a little bit. Denson is holding off Charlie Harcum. Harcum kind of doing a similar thing to almost what Causey was doing, but he's letting it break a little bit, going a little bit further to the outside on the exits, and not quite tucking it in as close to Denson as Causey is ahead of him. Behind them, we've got a little bit of a gap between Harcum and Andrew Chapman. Chapman was running pretty far up front earlier in this race, and now he's running back at 5th. So he's down 3 positions, and I'm kind of wondering where he's going to end up once the race is all said and done, because down a few positions, not usually where I'd expect to see someone, considering we're all kind of on an even playing field here, when they've been driving, so dominantly early on.
Say one thing, anytime you see Chapman not running up there directly at the front, it's typically because he's found something he wants to save. Whether that be tire, a little bit of fuel, try to push a window a different way than other guys can. It's what you expect out of him most weeks.
And we'll see. He's made some strategy choices when it comes to fuel and stops that have been interesting. Some have paid off in the long run. So we're only about 38 laps into 121. A lot can happen, especially when it comes to that overarching strategy.
Oh yeah, anything can happen there. Especially if you get a missed time caution or some kind of weirdness penalties. Gotta look at that too.
Well, with no more planned cautions, the only caution that's going to come out, I believe, is if someone calls for one. So it might be a lot of green flag racing for a little while here as these guys go around. The caution system being the only thing that they could really potentially use to try to group things up, but you need to see a pretty bad spin for that to come out.
Yeah, this series, it's 2 or more vehicles in an instant that throws it. If you self-spin, it sucks to be you. They keep it green, but you need a handful of cars to go around and really get messed up by an incident for them to actually throw the flag, which I think is the way to go. It's a big part of what's kept this series so clean all year round.
It's a good rule to stick by, and it looks like they're sticking to it. Biggest gap.
28 machine of McPherson is pulled it off behind the wall.
Yep, unfortunately, he's going back in the truck. Don't really know what happened there. Wasn't part of the earlier 2-car wreck.
Oh, we got a challenge right now, though. Denson to the inside of Causey down in 1 and 2. Not going to be able to get it done. Causey's going to straddle that first seam. get a little bit more momentum coming out of the corner.
He's looking
Denson
for it
looking
again,
pretty
maybe.
strong though.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching Jacob Denson race over the last couple of weeks. He's always put on a really strong show.
Yeah, Denson's another one of those guys, man. He's got it, but you know, there's some weeks where he really struggles, and other weeks where he really shines. And it looks like this week's one of them, you know, one of the latter, which is good to see.
As he, pardon me, as he trails it behind Joseph Causey now, bringing it back down to the lines, waving around a little bit on these turns, but still kind of holding it down. Tucks it back in on Causey. Maybe going to look for the inside on this one. Nope. Still holding on to it. A lot of moments of little bursts of speed coming out of the middle of the pack here, and we're looking for movement out of that as Andrew Lemke makes a pass on Jason Miz.
And the cool thing about this track is, with it being variable banking, with there being so many different ways you can attack the corner, on the short run you got one or two different lines you can choose from. Once you get about 10, 15, 20 laps on these tires, man, you can find a way to make anywhere work if you got the tires for it and you got the skill to do it.
And these are the guys who definitely do. They've been racing these trucks for long enough now, enough weeks, that they know these machines like the backs of their hands, so to speak. So if you're going to figure out how to make the most use of the track, this would be the place to show off. Looking back at how things are stretched out here, the overall gap is about 6.5 seconds from McCarty back to K. Everybody's still on the lead lap here. No one's fallen back far enough behind to really trigger anything there. K now in the Liquor Box Lubricants truck.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get a zoom in on that. Nice looking paint scheme.
Okay, it's a little blurry on my screen. Can you read the company name for me again?
Yeah, can we get the rear bumper?
There we
That's
go.
a beauty.
You know, it takes an artist to really see the canvas for what it is, and that paint scheme is going to be one for the record books.
Oh, he's got Low Debbie on there too. Myself,
on
I'm
top
more
of
of
everything.
Myself, I'm more of a fan of Big Deborah, but I mean,
Big Deborah. That seems like money left on the table.
No, it's not left on the table.
Oh, Big does. How would Big Deborah do it?
That is a Little Debbie property.
That's true. Ooh, a little bit loose now. Denson behind Causey. I think it feels like he's really desperate to find a place to use that speed, but in the meantime, he's just keeping it very, very close behind Causey. Denson now a little bit up there.
I think the problem right now is Denson's faster than Causey, but the problem with this being a multi-group racetrack is every line works, so there's nowhere you can really shuffle a guy out at. I think he's getting held up by that 88 machine just a little bit right now. I'm thinking maybe there's a little bit of long-term damage still lingering on Causey's machine that's caused him to slow down at the tail end of a run. As you see Denson dive down to the inside. See if he's going to try for a slide job here. Not going to have the opportunity, though. Causey's going to bring it back down the track. Try to choke him off here. He's going to do it.
We just saw Causey hit the transition there. He hit the apron and lost a little bit of speed, and then he came up and lost a little bit to waggling the tail. When his line is covering the entire track right now. He's going across all 4 lanes that are available. And knowing that that's his line, you know that you've just got 2 windows to pass him. And that's it. 2 windows per lap. Because if you try any other time, he's just going to cut you off.
Yeah, right now, the situation Denson's in with the line that Causey's running is the only opportunity he has to get by Causey is to go up there about 2 inches off the wall, try to charge it off the corner, get on his right rear quarter panel coming out of the corner, and hold him off going into the 3 and 4 and, you know, launch him up there. But he's going to the bottom trying to be conservative on his tires and just run out of places to go as he gets in the arrow wash to the 88.
He is tightly parked there right now as we go back into 3 and 4. Trying that outside line a little bit. Maybe he didn't have... No, not a great entrance there for the speed, unfortunately.
It's a good launch out of the corner, though. He's That's where I think that there might be something wrong with Causey's truck, because Denson is so good coming out of the corner.
Yeah, you can see him check up almost every time that he steps out. There we go. Got that nice onboard camera again.
He's getting just a little bit more momentum coming out of the corner. That lap, it wasn't... Oh, Causey saving. Saving hard, too. Or somebody's saving.
Yeah, this is Causey here. He's staying
I
up.
heard somebody else's truck. Chapman is saving fuel right now.
Interesting. Yeah, Chapman saving fuel. Looks like we've got Denson pitted. Jacob Denson stepping out of the rows here for a little bit. Stepping out of the race for a little bit to get some pit work done.
Bringing her in, throwing on 4 freshies and a little bit of fuel. I think what Chapman is doing right now is trying to conserve enough fuel to be able to make it to the end of the stage and score the stage points. Also
Not a bad idea.
Set himself up to be on a little bit fresher stuff at the end and maybe cut out a pit stop. A lot of different ways you can cut that.
I was going to say, time will tell here how his long-term strategy plays out as things have really stretched out up at the front now. Now that Denson has pulled out of the battle for podium, we have McCarty, Causey, and Chapman in first, second, and third. Harcum looking for that podium spot that I just talked about, trying to take it from Andrew Chapman.
Yeah, and Chapman, I think,
way up there.
Oh, here comes McCarty down pit road. Followed by Probst and Lemke. Oh, Lemke around.
Ooh, around and into the wall. Bit of a spicy entrance to the pit lane there.
Right on board here.
Spicy, spicy. Let's watch this. It was his attempt. Oh, bounced off the wall.
He got up into the fence. That thing it wasn't righted when he came in.
Yeah.
Brought it in a little too hot and wheel hop and around she goes.
Yeah, his weight was being thrown around everywhere. There was not. He needed to arrest he needed to arrest that car before he was flying across the line at that speed, trying to turn and straighten things out. Unfortunately, unable to. It looks like that's going to put Lemke with a little more time potentially in pit lane than he expected. Nope, he's back out. He got his tires, he got his gas, and he's back on the road.
For the time being, Joseph Causey, your race leader, until this thing cycles through. Staying out late, trying to keep a little bit fresher tire.
That means that stage 2 very likely will go to him.
I don't know. Causey's not saving. Chapman's saving a whole bunch of fuel here. I don't think Causey can make it to the end of the stage.
That's a good point. His last pit lap was 22, and we're almost at 60. So if Joseph Causey isn't planning on pitting now, he's going to be running on fumes by the time he gets to 60. I'm not even sure he'll make it there.
Yeah, I don't think he can make it.
So if he can't make it, this strategy is going to be a long-run strategy. We'll see what happens. We've got 5 laps left until the end of stage 1 here on the High Slide Thursday Night Truck Series. Here comes a pass. That's not a pass for place, though.
These guys on fresher stuff, getting a little bit of time, getting their time back, getting their lap back. McCarty falls behind Denson just a little bit, I think, because Denson took the undercut.
Absolutely. McCarty on the outside. Denson takes that, moves up to the outside as well. Aaron K is now in 5th after all this shuffling. Let's take a look at Grigsby.
Look at
this.
Pit road.
There we go. And Derek Grigsby following him.
That's going to leave Chapman. Now, here's the question, man. Is he going to be able to make it on fuel to the end of the stage?
Jason is pitting as well. So we got 3 pitting. We've got Andrew Chapman out. Chapman also on the same pit lap as Causey. So unless Chapman's been doing something really special, it's going to be tough for him to get through the next couple of laps without having to pit.
Oh, he's got the thing shut off about 100 yards before he gets to the entrance of turn 3. But he's bringing it in now. He couldn't make it. It's sputtering.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. What a shift.
Here's the thing, man. Chapman, we see this every week. He stays out as long as he possibly can to try and have the fresh stuff at the end of the run, and it typically helps him. Some weeks it hurts him, but I think this week he was matched enough for pace with the guys that he was racing around that it might actually be a benefit.
Maybe as he gets his pit stop in now. A few other people are still in. Looks like Aaron K is on his way back out onto the field up at the front right now. Andrew
McCarty and
Chapman still technically in the lead. Now gets passed by Levi McCarty, Jacob Denson, and Jordan Probst.
Chapman leaving the pits now. Going to be a heavy disadvantage here for a little bit.
Now up at the
9
front, let's
seconds
have a look
back.
at Levi McCarty. There is a challenger waiting for him there. That's Denson. As you mentioned, he's looking pretty good. He's sitting pretty in second right now. The only available challenge for Levi McCarty, who is holding on to a solid first place lead with a gap of about 3 seconds back to Jordan Probst.
Probst slowly cutting into it. Not a lot, but little bits and pieces at a time. But I just don't think he's going to have the stuff that he needs when he gets up there to McCarty, if he even gets to McCarty.
Yeah, that's going to be another battle entirely. By the time he gets to McCarty, it'll be a different story as we're on lap 59 of 121, looking for 60 for the stage win. That's probably going to be going to Levi McCarty here as we're getting ready to cross the line into lap 60 for the latter half of tonight's race.
McCarty with McCarty with a 0.3 of a second lead over second place Denson. I don't think there's anything Denson can do at this point. It's going to take a big mistake for McCarty, and we haven't seen many mistakes out of that 21 machine all season.
That's true. That's true. When Levi McCarty really wants to hold the line and do some incredible driving, he can. It's been the strings of bad luck. I'm pretty sure it's been anything holding him back.
Absolutely, but looks like he's got it this go round.
Right now, at least. So we got to do another pit stop shuffle, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but McCarty, stage winner.
That's 60 laps, and that's Levi McCarty. Jacob Denson following him with Jordan Probst in third as your first, second, and third place winners of stage 2 of 3 tonight here at Homestead-Miami. And with the end of stage 2, we're going to go ahead and take it to a commercial. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back, folks, at the end of Stage 2, through the end of Stage 2. Now a few laps into Stage 3, 8 laps exactly into Stage 3 at Homestead-Miami. Joe Castro joined by Sheldon Atkins. I can't speak English.
Well, you're Sean Connery over here, just really butchering my name.
Right, all of a sudden, I sound like a different man.
If you get a whistle with it, it'd be hilarious.
I can't. No, not gonna even try.
We've gone off the rails.
Just far enough. Just far enough. But let's recap how things have been going while we've been off the rails. It looks like there's been a little bit of shaking up, not too much. Joseph Causey made a pass for 4th. It looks like he might have fallen back a little bit after his pitting, obviously. Now he's making the pass for 3rd as I speak.
Joseph Causey to the outside of Jordan Probst, going through turns 1 and 2, running that high line, trying to build that momentum. You literally just watch this materialize out of thin air in literally the last lap. Causey's going to get the spot, though, coming into 3, using that top line advantage, man. It is so potent when you get somebody down on the bottom. Just be able to drive around them.
Yeah, give him the squeeze, and that seems to work out here at Homestead. When you've got somebody down at that line, they suddenly become really self-aware of where they are and not sliding their car up into yours. Any option they had to get a little more speed out of that exit becomes a non-option, and your exit becomes the dominant one almost immediately.
It's crazy, because anytime I try to do that here at Homestead, I end up in the catch fence somehow.
Ha! That's not where you should drive the car.
There's a trade-off between the officials and the High Slide Truck Series, that's for sure.
Well, that sounds about right. In 2nd place right now, Jacob Denson is holding the outside wall from the lap car Aaron Kay. Kay's got some speed.
Yeah, Kay not having the best of nights right now in the Liquor Box Chevrolet. Doing everything he can to try and get back into position to get back on the lead lap, but it's just so hard in a series where you don't get yellows. What a beautiful graphic. I think we need to put a blur up for that, don't we?
I would say so. Parents, if you have young children, just put your hands over their eyes, and we'll tell you when it's good.
And apologies, we're just a bunch of high schoolers up here at this point. Ropes on pit road.
Just typing 80085 on my calculator.
Hey.
Pushing 37 down, just like that exit. We just talked about that again. That slight squeeze from Denson moves the 17 back a little bit. Not the 17. Liquor Box Lubricants car. There we go. As they're coming back around, Causey has pushed his way up a little bit towards Denson.
Yeah,
Causey here comes the attack.
Causey on fresher equipment right now. Denson's on the oldest tires in the field at the moment.
And we just
Causey
saw.
Gonna send it down here on the bottom and just pretty much drive around him.
Just took it from him.
Taking candy from a baby.
It really was. That was the cleanest pass we've seen all night.
I had to do that earlier today, and it went better for Causey right here than it did for me.
He's still got the bruises to prove it.
Yeah, she's a little fighter.
Well, I hope that in the end the baby got the candy.
Oh yeah, after dinner.
There we go. There we go. That's very appropriate.
Trying to spoil her appetite, you know.
That's fair. You don't want to do that. I would have spoiled mine too in the same way. Let's see now if the candy is going to go to Joseph Causey. Causey's got a 2-second gap that he is closing every time he puts his foot to the floor. And it's closing in matters of, hundredths and tenths of seconds per lap. But we're going to see that gap close as he pulls away from Jacob Denson behind him. The other fresh tire club includes Derek Grigsby, Jason Miz, Aaron Kay,
Huge
interestingly
gain.
enough.
Huge gain in 1 and 2 for Causey. Brought it down literally a whole tenth just on entry alone. Kind of tapering off on the straightaway. McCarty's doing a good job just getting that run out of the corner, but Causey is just so relentless on his entry.
Yeah, he's driving it in low, and he's really holding on, trying to get that moment where he can get back on the gas and slowly unload the wheel just underneath him so that he can move the car further forward towards the car that's on tires that are only 4 laps younger than his. But that's not going to matter much when you know the track and you know the car as well as Joseph Causey does.
Yeah, it's all on entry because you see it stall out in the straightaway. You see McCarty get a little bit further with the advantage over there on the ticker, but in corner entry, just he dogs him. It's a tenth, half a tenth every lap, and that's what it takes. That's what's gonna pull that 21 machine back to him.
We'll see here. There's going to be a battle for first coming up soon here, folks. And we're going to bring it to you. But before we bring you the battle for first, we're going to bring you a little information about one of tonight's sponsors. One of the sponsors for the High Slide Truck Series playoffs. That's Haproon Design. Are you looking to make your iRacing experience truly stand out? Well, then look no further than Haproon Designs. Here at Haproon Designs, we specialize in creating custom wraps that will make your car or truck the envy of every race. Our team of skilled designers is dedicated to bringing your vision to life with sharp lines, vibrant colors, and unique designs that reflect your style and personality. So whether you're racing in the big leagues or just having fun with your friends, our custom iRacing wraps will make you the talk of the track night in and night out. So don't settle for ordinary when you can have the extraordinary. Choose Haproon Designs for all your custom iRacing wrap needs and race in style. Visit us at harpoondesign.com.
I tell you, I've seen, being a part of this service for a long time and being in all the Facebook groups that they have for it. Some of those painters, chats, people showcase what they have, and I've seen the Haproon Designs paint schemes on there a lot of times, man. They always look clean. Just absolutely gorgeous cars.
I'm going to have to keep my eyes open. And I was just thinking recently about getting a design myself. I want to get a design on the hood. It says "Hey there" written backwards. So when you see it in the rearview mirror, it says "Hey there." Oh, we got someone pitting in now. That's Jacob Denson. And on the back of the truck, I wanted to say "Horn OK."
Yeah, that would be one of the paint schemes of all time.
Just honk the horn if you want to get around me. Or "How's my driving?" That would be a good one too.
Now, here's my question. We saw Chapman go very aggressive with saving that last run. I wonder if he's doing it this go around or not. Because he's pretty far back from Causey.
He is, and Causey now moving up into first thanks to McCarty going into the pits. McCarty's back out now. Yeah, and Causey, Chapman's got some gap to make up, and unfortunately it looks like it's another situation where at different parts of the track, that gap is going to change if you're Joseph Causey or if you're Andrew Chapman. The trend right now, it's hard to read. It looks like they're both just kind of pacing each other with how much distance they've got between each other, and between other cars around them as well.
Well, Chapman's
so we'll
also
have to wait and see.
Chapman's also on a couple lap fresher tires too, but he gave up so much trying to make it around, saving all that fuel.
He is trying to write his name on the wall right now. That's how close he is, about 2 inches off.
That's where the speed is.
It always terrifies me. When I drive up there, I get scared.
And the trucks aren't as bad about it, but if you do it like the Gen 4 cars or the ARCA car, you're stuck in it all the way down the straightaway because of how offset that right rear is with the skew.
One wrong move, and you get sucked up into that wall, and you're not going to get off the wall.
Yeah, It's basically like just sticking the thing up to super glue at that point.
That's awful. It's the worst feeling in the world. Because you know every second that goes by when you're on that wall is 10 miles an hour that you're losing. And you're just going to watch the whole race pass you by as soon as you get off that turn or wherever you are.
Yeah, the walls on iRacing are presented to you by Flex Tape.
Yeah. Flex Tape and Gorilla Glue present to you all the walls in iRacing. That's really where the sponsorship should be.
Look at Harkham running a diamond through 3 and 4 there, getting really close to the wall in the center, kind of like you would at Darlington. And you see Grigsby right behind him running, you know, half a lane higher all the way through the corner. And these guys are about matched for pace at the same time. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many ways you can attack this place, but right now Grigsby going to get a really good run out of 1 and 2, dive down to the inside of the 82 machine of Harkham. And I think he's going to try and set up a slide here in turn 3 to get by him.
He takes it. Grigsby with the pass for P3. Both of them kicking out the rear end a little bit, really giving it to it as they get out of the apex of those turns and just looking for a solid exit. And it looks like Grigsby was able to make his work a little bit better.
And Harkham could have made that significantly more difficult for Derek and the 5 machine, but thought better of it. You're going to try and build momentum, try and dive back down to the bottom and do it. Not able to make it connect, though. Going to get back in line behind him, and I imagine just ride from here. I was wrong.
Grigsby into the wall.
Grigsby in the fence.
Oof.
And Harkham on pit road.
Yeah, I was going to say, the timing couldn't have been better for Grigsby. As Harkham takes it down pit road. Grigsby holding on to 3rd, up 2 positions from 5th. Harkham the only one on pit lane right now. Chapman, that gap increasing now by about a half a second between him and Joseph Causey, as Causey isn't really pulling away at a high speed. They're both just sort of driving their lines right now.
Chapman's back to kicking in the clutch, going into the corners now, trying to save a little bit.
That might be the big brain strategy, especially as we get closer and closer down here to the line. We are almost at lap 90 of 121, close to 30 to go here.
It's late into the run. I just don't see, man. I don't see how that's going to be beneficial.
That's a good question.
What is that? Is that Causey's doing it too?
Causey's saving fuel too. The engine's getting nice and quiet, and he's coasting his way through some of these turns.
I think I just put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, if one guy's doing it, odds are there's a possibility they could be wrong. But you got 2 or 3 guys doing it, and there's a reason for it.
That's a good point. The reason right now being they're getting close to the 40 lap mark on these.
Here comes Causey.
And this tires and fuel, yep. It's that 40 lap mark. You don't really want to cross into that area. You barely make it. Yeah, you can't make it there.
Here comes Chapman staying out an extra lap, though.
Causey's in, Grigsby's in, and of course Chapman's out. Wouldn't he be though? Chapman always showing a little bit of how it's done when it comes to that survivor's instinct. Staying out, working the vehicle, really trying to figure out how to drive it on fumes and calculate a perfect final lap, extra final lap there any moment that he can.
Bringing her in. This will be the final pit stop of the night.
Yeah, I think it will be with him. That's Derek Grigsby also, and Aaron Kay also pitting in. Jason Miz is leaving the pit road right now as we speak. Chapman in. Back out on the track. Second place just became first. Jordan Probst has moved up to 91. He's on tires from lap 72. So he's got one more pit stop left in him.
It's a weird way to dice the strategy, but Probst's trying anything. I mean, hey, look, you're not going to win it if you do exactly what the leader does. You see McCarty dive it down to the bottom and take the spot from him with ease.
Well, fresher tires there too. McCarty on tires from 80, only 11 laps back, so he's got a little bit of an advantage there. And Probst now probably thinking to himself, when's it my turn? When am I going to pit in? And we'll see. I bet he's doing it right now.
I got to give a huge shout out to the 21 Machine McCarty. He's been so fast all night long. Started up at the front, led a whole bunch of laps in the early stages of this thing, and it's just not throwing a wheel the wrong way all race long. Good
Really
performance out
hasn't.
of him.
Really hasn't. A lot of these guys, aside from a little bit of the, like I said, the earlier jitters, these guys have been keeping the vehicle straight, and the driving has been clean. There's been a little bit of bumping here and there, but it's really just felt like racing. Even with things getting a little spread out.
Yeah, at this point, though, you know, with the dwindling entry list that we unfortunately have to see here, which is just, you know, a matter of it's late stages in a season. Nobody wants to show up if they can't win something.
Yeah.
The guys that you get left in these are typically, you know, the guys that are just really good friends outside of the actual racing itself.
We got a 3 wide situation now with Denson and Miz on the outside of Probst. Let's watch the Blue Angels take it here.
Denson right up there on that fence, going to get the momentum, going to fly right by Probst. Denson on a little bit fresher stuff. Probst going to fall back in line in second or third.
You love to see it. And we've had, bump now from Denson to, who is that? Is that Aaron K? No. It's that little bump from Denson to Jason Miz, I believe.
And Causey is way behind these guys right now.
Probst took this time to go in and get his pit stop done. It'll be his last of the night. As everybody else is just about set up to finish this thing. Lap 95 of 121 at Homestead-Miami. We're going to take our last GridVision break here, folks, and we're going to bring you the end of this race from Miami. So stick around and catch the big finale on GridVision. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the High Slide Thursday Night Truck Series, lap 102 of 121 at Homestead-Miami on GridVision. Joe LaCastro joined by Sheldon Adkins, and we are going to bring you the rest of the race here tonight. Levi McCarty out in front. He's pitting in.
Could not make it off you. Oh, big slide on McCarty coming down pit road.
Yeah,
Good job keeping it straight.
I thought we were going to see the tail of that car hit the bins there, but it looks like he's kept it straight. Couldn't quite make it on what he had. His last pit lap was just not enough to make it. The rest of the squad looks like they're going to be able to make it the last couple of laps here, or at least we're going to find out as Joseph Causey moves up into first place.
On board here with McCarty. Really tricky pit road to get right. Barrels come at you pretty quick. Go to downshift. Next thing you know, she just wants to snap around on you.
Yeah,
and it looks like he was out of fuel the whole time he was coming into pit road there.
That would explain it. Last minute emergency pit. It's going to cost him everything. That first place lead went down to a 9th place situation. He was 2nd place on the pole, and now it looks like it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb for him to try to get back, especially without anybody helping him out.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now is what we've seen most of the season, man. Joseph Causey, though, out here fast, leading laps. Barring, an act of God, he's probably going to bring this thing home.
Walking away right now. We've seen a few acts of God that have tried to trip up some of these racers tonight. A little bit of slipping here and there, a little bit of crossing the transition. Causey himself had a few moments where he was down at the apron and he lost a bit of control, lost a little bit of speed, but you can't argue Causey's racecraft. It's pretty much perfect. And when it comes to watching a guy drive a track, it's a clinic. So this is, as you said, kind of what we've been seeing a little bit in these playoffs, everything leading up to it. That's a dominating performance from Joseph Causey as Andrew Lemke takes it down pit road.
Joe, you're playing a dangerous game here. Don't inflate that guy's head, man. He won't be able to make it into the sim rig next week. He won't be able to fit.
Well, maybe I'm trying to upturn the situation of the playoffs here in High Slide with my incessant compliment giving. I'm just a positive person.
How very Canadian of you.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit too far south for that. Up here, let's see, you got 2 wide situation right now as the Liquor Box Lubricants truck of Aaron K moves down on the inside of Charlie Harcum.
Yep, not a battle for position right now, just a battle.
Yeah, just a battle. K, as we've said, has been the little engine that wishes it could. He's been driving well, but it seems like something's been holding him back tonight from having a lot of overall top speed.
Yeah, just probably a mistake somewhere in the race, maybe speeding or, poorly timed strategy call. And when they go green like this, man, there's not a chance to get yourself back on the lead lap. Not on a fixed setup with a group as talented as this.
No. Nah, not at all. And we've still got 8 cars on the lead lap right now. Only 2 right now are back in the sort of pit road miasma. That would be a late stage pit stop. Lap 108 of 121. The leaders have all pit toward the end of, or at the end of 89, toward the beginning of 94 or 94 around there. We've got some that have pit around 96. They're still a little in the middle of the pack. Whereas up front, that's the 90 crew right now. That's Causey, Chapman, and Grigsby.
Yeah, I think
Jordan
that's
Probst.
strategy coming in on lap 90. I think that's going to be that's going to be the ticket for Causey to get this thing done. I think he's got more than enough fuel to make it to the end.
Just about, as Jordan Probst tries to make the pass on Jason Miz. Miz not having it, wants to really battle it out now for that 5th place spot. Probst has him by a nose, though, down on the inside. The Miz, as I just called him, unable to hold on the outside, unfortunately. But he's trying to look for speed now. He's tucking it in. As down on the inside comes the 79.
Yeah, Miz up there in the old Harry Gant line, about a ½ inch off the fence.
So close. Denson now trying to find a spot on Probst. Probst not willing to go down to the line. That's going to leave the door open a little bit for Denson, who's able to get the nose just into the quarter panel, but not quite far enough to really provide a challenge.
Yeah, that outside line momentum paying its rewards pretty quick here to Probst. He's going to try to come down, though, and aero block the 79 of Denson, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Denson's so fast right now. We've seen this battle shape up multiple times this race. Denson's going to dive down to the bottom on the front straightaway.
Can he do it? He's got the quarter panel now.
Oh,
contact. Almost spun the 91. Still looking for it. Still inside. Still a threat is the 79 now. As they're coming back down into the turn.
At this point, the 79 machine, Denson, his patience is running thinner and thinner with each lap that passes. Knows that he's faster than that truck in front of him, just can't find a way by him, and you got the 91 throwing blocks on him in the middle of the corner. That's a good way to end up with yourself a tank slap in the wall.
Absolutely. Denson backing off for a second. Maybe he didn't think he had it. Now back on his game, diving the inside. He's got much more than the quarter panel now. They're halfway. They're side by side.
That could have been bad, too. Denson caught the apron a little bit, slid up the track, about got the quarter panel of the 91 machine of Probst, rolled out of it to avoid hurting him, but here they come again, side by side, a little bit of door contact through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's rubbing right there as we saw the 91 making clean contact. Now, looks like McCarty is tucked in behind Probst. Could give him the push he needs to get ahead of Denson.
McCarty just about wrecked himself to avoid wrecking either one of them. McCarty up against the fence, though, in 1 and 2. He's going to get a huge run on way fresher tires than either one of these two.
That's right, as he makes the move on passing Denson, and now a quick whip around the 91.
Oh, and the 91's going to block him.
Going for the block, it's Probst. Probst without the ability to block enough, unfortunately. McCarty said, not today, and kept on rolling. 79 says, can I get a little piece of that too?
Man, somebody has riled that 91 machine of Probst. Way more aggressive than we've seen him all year, as he tries to fight and claw to hold on to these positions here as we get to the late stages of this thing.
That's right. We've got 6 laps to go, folks. And now I would be surprised if Probst did let Denson pass at this point without a serious fight. We already saw him give it up, but Probst into the wall, losing a little bit of speed. Denson doing his best to, give him the benefit of the doubt there, but and avoiding a wreck. Not enough speed on that turn. He's going to tuck it back in. The fight here is for 5th right now, folks, or for 6th, excuse me.
I got a really good feeling the gloves are about to come off between these two. That 79 machine really wants to be where the 91 is. 91 doing everything he can to throw out a roadblock to hold him behind.
Oh, it's these huge exits, too, that the 91 is getting that are just able to prevent the overall dominance out of the turn from the 79. The 79 not giving up now, driving it hard on the inside. Again, just barely kissing corners there.
And Denson is doing a really good job of playing nice right now in that 79 machine.
You're telling me. I'm watching this situation thinking, how many times would I have put my car into the 91? How many times would I have been bashing the 91, just trying to stay off of his bumper? 91 now loose. 79 takes it. 5 laps to go.
He rolled out of the way. He knew he was playing a rough game there with that 79.
Wow.
Duck
what
in behind.
Snap pass, too. Very snappy pass being done there by Jacob Denson. Levi McCarty We followed him earlier. He's Mr. Fresh Tires right now. He's riding high on the outside past Charlie Harcum.
Yeah, McCarty unfortunately just didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end. Made the wrong strategy call, and you're seeing the unfortunate repercussions of that. So fast all night, had a truck that I think could have won it.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can right now, but he is a full 11 seconds behind Derek Grigsby, and we have only got about 3 to go here after Joseph Causey crosses the line at Miami. So it's going to be, unless he can do 4 places in 3 laps across 24 seconds, Levi McCarty did have a very unfortunate evening here.
Yeah, and you're not going to see that.
No, I would like to see a podium maybe with 11 seconds left with 3 laps to go, but that's a lot of time to make up without mistakes being made. Big ones. Not a little slide here and there, but a full spin, which could bring out a yellow. We still have time.
Yep, we're running out of time pretty quick. Grigsby caught the fence a little further in the back of the pack. Don't know if anybody caught that.
This is the time when maybe the driver fatigue is setting in, or the tires. Grigsby very loose right now. He's just wiggling all over the place. Quite the drive.
Great drive for Grigsby up to 3rd place. A really good performance for him tonight. Another one of those guys that has a lot of speed, but just has not had the luck this season. Oh, with 2 laps to go, man. Getting ready to come down to the white flag here in a little bit. Joseph Causey. Absolute perfection tonight. Domination from the second he got back up to the front after getting caught up in that accident at the start of this thing.
Really impressive, especially considering that I thought that accident was going to wreck his race. I thought it was his radiator was going to be done and he was going to be out. Final lap. Joseph Causey in the lead with a 12-second gap back to Andrew Chapman. Let's follow him around as he gets ready to cross the line.
Only car even on the horizon right now is that 7 machine of Jason Miz, his teammate. But Causey into turn 3 and out of turn number 4 clean so far.
It's about to be it, folks, and soon to be across the line through the start finish. And there we go. Joseph Causey has taken the checkered flag tonight at Homestead. Starting dead last with no qualifying time, Joseph Causey through cautions, through pit stop strategies, and through getting involved in the first and the only wreck of the race, I believe, has moved his way up to 1st place. All right, we're going to do our last commercial break of the evening, folks, as we get ready to go to the results and our interviews. So stay tuned here on GridVision. Welcome back on GridVision, folks. Here's the result grid from tonight's race at Homestead-Miami. Let's run it down real quick. Joseph Causey from 11th to 1st. Andrew Chapman in 2nd place. Derek Grigsby in 3rd. Levi McCarty in 4th. Charlie Harcum in 5th. Jacob Dents in 6th. Jordan Probst in 7th. Jason Miz in 8th. Andrew Lemke in 9th. And Aaron Kay in 10th. Anthony McPherson in 11th. Quite a race. It was good. We had a little bit of bumping and grinding here and there, and now we're going to get to our interviews, starting with Sheldon Adkins, who's going to be talking to our 3rd place, Derek Grigsby.
Oh. Hey, Derek, man, P3. Pretty good night for you. It's been a really quiet season, but you've really been trending upwards these past couple weeks. What's the secret to the success been?
Just sticking with it. I don't run through the week. I only run on Thursdays, so it's taken me a while to wrap my head around the update they did mid-season, but finally starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with it.
Well, man, you've definitely been looking, better out there, and to be able to knock off a podium. I mean, I know it's a light field, but as strong a field as this series has, it's something to kind of pat yourself on the back on, because man, y'all do great stuff out here. How you looking for the next, last 2 weeks of the season?
I just hoping to come in, run clean, kind of finish out strong. I've had a pretty good year where I've only had 2 DNFs, I think. And so just want to keep that trend going, keep learning. The more you run this truck with the new update, the more you learn and the better you get over time. So just trying to complete laps.
Well, man, you're looking good out there tonight. Who all do you want to thank for this wonderful P3 finish this evening?
Shout out to Old Money Cards I got on the hood, and everybody that came out tonight. We a lot of people don't want to run, don't want to mess up the playoffs, but thankful to the guys who did show up tonight so we could get out there and have a little fun.
All right, man. Well, hey, have yourself a good evening, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again next week. And I'm going to hand it back over to Joe for his interview with 2nd place, Andrew Chapman.
You got it. Andrew Chapman, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, fellas. How about you guys?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. Hell of a race out of you tonight. You had some good challenges going on. You had you finished right where you started too. So I guess that's kind of a solid win considering that you're in 2nd place after all the pit stops and a little bit of wrecking early on. Tell us, what was your overall strategy here tonight with the longer race?
Just survive. I hate Homestead. It's such a boring technical track. It's hard to race people. It's just one of my least favorite tracks. So to come home 2nd is a huge win for me, and put it away and move on to next week.
There was a couple moments there in the middle of the race where I saw you racing about mid-pack, and I was really thinking, man, this is, Chapman's got some strategies up his sleeve. Something's gonna click here. What was it later in the race that got you that little extra boost? Do you think?
Well, right after stage, it was somewhere around stage 2, I think. I started saving fuel just a little bit. It looked like I was going to be 3 or 4 laps short. I was like, well, let me start saving here. But as the track got cold, I think the track was getting colder. The later it was getting, we ended up getting better fuel mileage each run we went. So I never even needed to save. I was +3 to the good when I finished the race on gas, and there was a couple guys that didn't play the strategy right, and they had an extra pit stop. So I was like, well, once I play that right, I mean, I should come home top 3 anyway. So I'll take it.
Levi McCarty was running up front there for a while. He fell back, and that gave you position definitely to move up a little bit. Well, congratulations on the silver. Very good job racing tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you again, hopefully in the interview box next week. Is there somebody that you'd like to thank or shout out to tonight?
Well, thank you guys this week for putting on such an awesome broadcast. I always look forward to watching it.
All right. Well, we have a good time doing it. That's why we're here. And you guys always put on such a great show that High Slide has become the highlight of my week, just about every week. So once again, thank you for coming out and putting on such a good show for us tonight.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you at Michigan next week, I think it is.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Take care, Andrew. And for the final interview of the night, I'm going to sling things back over to Sheldon, and he's going to talk to our winner, Joseph Causey.
And Joseph Causey, 6 wins on the season after tonight. Pure domination. I mean, you look like you're basically locked into it for the title on the points. But what was going through your head when you went in turn number 1 on the first lap and you caught Miz right to the nose?
I was thinking, oh man, like I didn't know what to think. I tried to avoid it. I went low, and I don't know if I went high or whatever, and I couldn't avoid it, and I just ended up hitting it. And I guess Miz wanted to give everybody a handicap, or give me a handicap, so that everybody else had, a better truck than I did. But
so how bad was the damage initially? Like
25 seconds.
Really, man, I was expecting the radiator to be cracked because you hit him pretty square there.
Yeah, it didn't hurt the truck too much. It said there was still damage on the truck, but that couldn't be fixed. But I mean, it didn't really pan out. I mean, I guess it kind of hurt me downforce wise. Like I did wear out the right front more, but when everybody pitted, when we were going on, and everybody pitted, did that 3-stop, I was like, well, I guess this is just gonna be an easy win because I'm only gonna stop twice.
Yeah, man, you definitely had it figured out with the strategy tonight. You had the pace. I mean, even with that thing absolutely destroyed, I watched you crawl your way through the field before it came into a whole strategy race. Because you started dead last on it, and you ended up working yourself back up to 6th, and it looks like you have these things figured out. Just something figured out that these other guys don't. Any idea what that is? Because I'm trying to get better at truck racing.
I'm not sure. It's just dumb luck, I guess.
Oh man, another great race out of you tonight. I'm sure you got plenty of people you want to thank for another just absolute old-fashioned butt whooping.
Yeah, thank everybody that did show up. I've tried. I wish I could get more people. I'm about ready to put AI cars with us. This is the point it's gotten to. But other than that, man, thank everybody that did come along, that did help put on the show, and Jordan was the Jordan Barry was the mass person who got this whole ball rolling, and it sucks that it's come down to only this few cars. I wish we had more to show, but it is what it is. I'm glad I got the win, and here's off to the next 2 races, and hopefully we make pretty good ones.
Yeah, and I agree, and I feel like it's completely undeserving too, because this has been one of the best leagues that I've ever seen on the service, and you guys put on a great show every week. So hopefully, take a little time off at the end of the season, reboot next year, and come back even stronger. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I want to be back up here in the booth for it.
We'll see. Well, we're gonna see. I don't know where Jordan Berry's head's at with it. He was the one that's been mostly the all hands on. I've been helping him out here and there where I can, but I can only do so much, and everybody else can only do so much. If nobody shows.
Well, man, hey, thanks for coming up here and taking the time out of your day to talk to us. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Wrapping things up now for the end of this race. We've got a schedule of what's coming up, I believe. Can we get that up? And we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up for the rest of this week. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that schedule to come up, Sheldon, you got any thoughts on tonight's race or anything about you're looking forward to at Michigan?
I mean, Michigan's a wonderful track. That's going to be a lot of drafts, a lot of aero trickery is going to be at play next week with a little bit of multi-groove. And tonight, for what they had with the turnout tonight, they put on a good show, and that's honestly just the takeaway every week when it comes to this series. It's always fun, competitive racing to watch, even if Kazi comes out here and stinks up the show and wins just about everything at this point. So there's always something going on. These guys run real clean. It's always just a blast to sit here and watch it.
Absolutely. I've been pretty dedicated to this series since I started calling it with you, and it's been a blast every time. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it. Speaking of the rest of it, let's talk about the rest of this week. Tonight it was Miami. Tomorrow it's Kansas Speedway for Ryko Friday Night Top Split. So we got a little bit more coming up for you on GridVision this week. And then next week, well, as we've said, High Slide's taking it to Michigan. So that's what I've got. I don't have too much else to add. I'm going to go ahead and I think we're going to call the show here. Sheldon, thank you for your
there
time tonight.
There we go.
I had a really good time calling the show with you as usual, and looking forward to calling it again next week.
Yeah, looking forward to being back up here again next week, and also back up here tomorrow night for the Ryko Performance Friday night top split. So, yeah, I think we've done all we can do with this one tonight.
Sounds good, my friend. Well, to you, the audience, thanks for watching and supporting as always here at GridVision. We really appreciate it. From the entire team, we want to thank you. And for more information on getting your league broadcast or starting your career in broadcasting, give us a contact on Facebook or X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to Joseph Causey, and thank you from Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, Austin Derbyshire, and we'll see you next time on the grid.